stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
VOR, VOR is back. It's Ed.
And it's Carl.
Do you want to start that over and use your guitar this time?
No.
Ballad of VOR.
That's too much pressure. Put me on the spot.
Oh, you can show off your skills there.
I don't like showing off. Carl's not showing off.
Neo's talking about Star Wars again. Bling, bling, bling.
Do a folk theme for the show.
Oh boy, yeah. Lord knows we can get some murder ballads up in this Star Wars piece.
That's, when I used to play bluegrass, I was like, everyone loves a good murder ballad.
Yeah.
It's sad but true. So.
Hang down your head, Darth Vader. Hang down your head and cry. Yeah, let's do it.
In the swamps, in the swamps.
All right, next
swamps
VOR.
of Dagobah.
Hell yeah. Next VOR is all folk.
We're actually going to have to do that. Some Star Wars folk songs. So.
All right, we'll get it in the show notes. I'm sure it'll be a real winner with our fans.
You're hearing it here first, folks. It's never going to happen. It's going to be on that big long list of, you know what we should do? We should do this. No, it's never going to happen. No, none of us have time.
Nope. And there's no toilet flushing sound effect, so I can't do it. Yeah. That's all we got. Anyway. Cool. Well, fuck that. Star Wars wins. Let's go.
Yes.
So, in the leftover pile, we can quickly get this out of the way. Everybody knows Ford broke his ankle. But apparently he's walking around London, so good job. He's back. The only interesting thing is that, again, it's rumor, and I'm not a big fan of bowing to rumors, but there was possibility that because it interrupted the schedule for his recovery, that they had to kind of write around it, so they may have been giving some of his scenes to another character. I don't know what that means. We don't know what's happening, so who cares?
Yeah, and in the end, it doesn't matter one way or the other because it's either going to be in the film or it's not. So
yep.
Once we see the film, we'll know. So
yeah, exactly. And then we can watch the outtakes and the DVD extras and watch that door fall on his fucking foot. It'll be.
I wonder if there's some grip just got fired over that or something,
Zip bam, son of a bitch! Oh no. Roger, what have you done?
The end of his career right there. So.
Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway.
But one thing that I find a lot more interesting than Harrison Ford's ankle is there's been a lot of talk. I'm sorry. I mean, it's old news and it's all speculation at this point. Sorry.
Yeah.
But speaking of speculation, here's something. They've been rumoring a lot that Darth Vader's coming back in this movie, some form or another. Like we were talking slightly off camera about. I personally, I'm not sold that it's actually Darth Vader. Maybe it's someone running around in the armor. Might be a clone.
Like a telegram.
There's a whole there's a whole lot of possibilities.
I heard that you were feeling blue, headache, sniffles, and the flu.
I mean, because that honestly could be it. Like, it could just be like Luke finds holocrons of Darth Vader. Like it could be something as simple as that. You just never know because it's all rumor. But the rumor is they cast the body double for Darth Vader, because as we all know, James Earl Jones didn't run around in the Vader outfit. It was David Prowse through the original trilogy, and so.
Well, maybe in private. We don't know.
Yeah, he might. He still to this day, I'm sure he probably has like a plus-size Vader outfit that James Earl Jones rocks around the house.
Hell yeah.
I know I would. Give it to the old lady wearing the helmet. Whatever. I don't care. But the rumor is they found the body of Darth Vader, and it's supposed to be WWE, Pro Wrestling's Sheamus. Again, another UK sort of Great Britain sort of connection because he's Irish. So like, you know, all that stuff. Big dude, strong dude. What makes an intimidating, imposing figure. So I think he would be a good fit for the role. And also, like we were getting ready to talk, but I said we'll save it, was the fact that pro wrestlers are a physical performance, you know. So much like dancers and things of that nature, he emotes with his body. He has to tell the story with his body. So perhaps getting someone like that to do the body portion of the Darth Vader stuff might be brilliant. You know, he really could bring a great physical performance. He could get into stunt work because, shit, his life is stunt work, day to day, live in front of an audience, you know. So
yeah, and if it was a guy just standing around, walking, menacing, holding a saber, you can get just about anybody to do that that's big. Because, no, we're not going to hear his voice because he's Irish. And it's the same issue that you had with David Prowse's Darth Vader. No, where the rebel plans you. No, it's not about that. They're still going to get James Earl Jones to do the voice, and but by getting exactly for those reasons, I can feel it. I can feel it. Exactly the reason you're talking about. By getting a physical performer, not just a guy to walk from here to there, we might see something in this Vader. We might see an actual performance, not necessarily like jumping off the turnbuckle with the cape. But I'm excited. I don't know what that means. But
and here's the thing to keep in mind, and this is something that's been running through my head, especially right before the show, is if they do the clone aspect, if they're saying, like, because we know cloning is a part of this universe, it's not a stretch. So if there was a clone of Anakin, he's not going to be a burnt-up, stubby little guy in a robotic suit. Right. If you clone someone, he's going to have all 4 limbs. He's going to be physically fit. He's not going to have all that stuff going on with him. So perhaps we're going to see a more physical Vader that's actually able to move around and fight. And if that is the case, you'll need someone that can physically perform. So you have this big dude that can do stunts and take falls and stuff of that nature. I'm sure you probably could put a saber in his hand and teach him a few things within a couple of weeks and have something impressive out of it. So, and all this kind of comes along the tail end. He put out a couple mysterious tweets that were kind of hinted around that he was playing Darth Vader. He also returned home to Ireland at strangely the same exact time the Star Wars was filming in Ireland.
I was just going to bring that up. That is definitely that's a confirmed location of one of their shoots. So you know, when you first sent me this link, I'm like, yeah, right. This is the dumbest idea in the history of Star Wars dumb ideas. And then, I found that Irish Island story. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
How would this work?
Yeah, so it's like there's some speculation. He's fed a little bit of fuel to the fire. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's a good possibility. Like the facts line up, and it might not be the truth. But as far as rumors go, it's plausible. It's a pretty solid rumor. So
and you know what? As I've really had time to digest this, with the revelation of this island, it's really hard for people to be original in the Star Wars world. And it looks like in recent years, people kind of gave up trying. So, and it's stuff we've railed on the show. And it's unfortunate. Dave Filoni just said, I'd love to direct a Star Wars movie. Holy fuck, not let him near a Star Wars movie. Just let him be done. All right?
If anything, just relegate him to the cartoon world and leave him out of the live action.
Keep him cartoony. I don't think I can't see him offering anything more than he already has, which is more derivative shit. So I've got when it comes to story, when it comes especially villains and the Sith, they're going back to sketchbooks, or they're literally going back to Darth Maul. They've brought back Darth Maul as a fake Darth Maul, the generic knockoff version in Savage Opress. And I can't tell you how much I hate this character just for being made into Star Wars reality. And then the one-off story of Maul coming back with robot pants, that was a fun read.
Mm-hmm.
And then they actually did it anyway. I'm like, oh God, can we just commit to your story, and think around it, because you set up these rules. Can you just play with within those limits, and not just have Sith jumping out of every corner, and now it's a Sith dictator who's got his new empire, and then it's the bikini Sith chick. Oh God, it's just done to death, and it's horrible. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible. It just looks like B-movie shit. You're turning Star Wars into B-movie shit. So when I first saw a possibility of Vader coming back, yeah, my yikes went up, and I'm like, good, they're so bad, they're not even bothering to pretend it's not Vader. They're going to make Vader come back, but there's a possibility. Like you said, we've already established clones are real. It could be an imposter, because we know that armor was left on Endor just sitting there. So if there's a Force-sensitive guy that was so compelled, he doesn't need to build a rep. He doesn't know that Vader used to be Anakin Skywalker. If he's got power and he just needs a rep, he's like, I think it's time for Vader to come out of retirement. And then boom, it's a big motherfucker kicking people's ass.
Yeah.
And 3, I mean, let's face it, this is 2014. And as much as I respect a realistic version of stories and action, I over-the-top action, everything gets so over-the-top at this point, I just don't care. Like the last Star Trek, I enjoyed it, but it was still way too over-the-top for me. When's it going to end, Like, why can't we just have people, like, fight and things explode, but not, like, whole planets? I just don't need to see any more planets and cities explode. So it also keeps Vader competitive in today's movie market. I mean, he's not going to be doing flips like Yoda, but I will say, and I hear the voice of Joel Carroll, there's an elegance to the old Vader where he's so bad, like in Empire Strikes Back, he doesn't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Luke is coming at him and it's like, ha, ha, ha. And Vader's like, yep, gotcha. I'm in charge, But this new guy will offer the possibility of more visual style. And if he's an imposter, that's how we're going to know. Because this guy's coming on like a wrestler. Right?
And here's the thing, and you hit on something else that's really interesting, is like, I'm wondering, like, decoy. Like, maybe there's some leftover people from the Empire. Maybe they're still sweeping up the Empire at this point, and maybe there's just, like, some, like, Moff out there. It's like, just has some dude in a Vader suit standing behind him to make him look scary. Possibly. I mean, because like you said, like, he doesn't have to do much. Like, historically, Vader can just show up and people shit their pants,
Exactly.
You might have a guy that doesn't even have half the skill as Vader, but just because he's wearing that armor and that helmet, he imposes, like, will on people. It's like he changes the tide because they're so intimidated and they're so scared of what's going on. There's a lot you can do with Vader without it being Vader, or re-examining that and making it something new. Like, I'm really trying to give this whole thing a benefit of a doubt, because I mean, J.J. Abrams, like I said, sometimes he is a mixed bag, but sometimes he does some really brilliant stuff. And with the potential that Star Wars has as Episode 7 after Return of the Jedi, there's just nothing but potential in that universe, because the future, we don't know. I mean, when you had the prequels you knew how it was going to end. There's no way, like, that the Emperor doesn't die. That Anakin becomes dark and becomes Darth Vader. That, like, I mean, like, you knew all this shit was going to happen.
Right.
You don't have that going into this next trilogy. Like, literally, the sky's the limit. Anything can happen in these next 3 films.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, I think. And that makes me excited for the new trilogy, just for that aspect and that feature alone, is because we don't know what's going to happen. They're not adhering strictly to EU. They pretty much said, like, we might get some influence from it. We might take 1 or 2 pieces from it, but they don't have to stick to it. So we don't know what's coming, and it's brilliant. So. And
we've been used, that's based off of Lucas's treatment, but that's really all it is. It's not like, okay, you can have the entire farm, but you must use this script. Nobody's that stupid, because they know how the last movies went. So
exactly.
That makes me more excited than anything. It's people that don't just want to make money off of the Star Wars name, but want to make, like, keep the property strong.
Mm-hmm.
For their
Because
own
they have,
benefit, not just
yeah,
for
they
Star
have
Wars.
so much money into it. They have to make it a winner. They have to make it good.
Yeah,
So,
and not just by formula. I mean, you don't have to build an X-wing today. You
No.
don't have to. You can just green screen your way through every friggin' movie, and they're taking a lot of pains, and you only do that out of love.
exactly. You do that out of love and dedication, and that's what we're seeing, and hopefully that all translates on the film. So.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked just talking about it.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a good. I think it's a good time to be Star Wars fans like us because there's enough optimism and good things coming out that you're just like, you know what? Maybe it's not going to be the same old bullshit this time, because I think we've really had that for about the past like 14 years. That Star Wars just kind of turned into like, well, it's the same old bullshit. It's the same old Star Wars. And I even said that on a post on Facebook because we're going to talk about it in the next segment about the Rebels trailer. But I was like, man, it was really good. But then they Star Wars'd it up. Like, I used it as a verb. Like, they Star Wars'd it. And that's what it feels like. And I'm really glad that we might be getting something new and original and fresh out of it. So.
Yeah, and hey, guys, if you are excited... or, you know, you got feelings about this Vader news, we want to hear about it. So why don't you trundle on over to www.vorradio.com, and you'll have links to our voicemail, a.k.a. the Republicom, our email. You can send us a regular old text because a lot of people don't like the sound of their own voice. It's fine. Or you can check us out on the Facebook page, which is always open and pretty busy, like all the time. There's always something cool going on. There's always a discussion or fun photos or whatever. But
and it's an actual group, too. It's not one of those bullshit pages where you can't interact and it's just all broadcast at you. No, you can post your own discussions. You can talk to us. We reply to you directly. The other Vorons reply. It's a group, not a fucking page. Because that's what we respect you.
We will make you breakfast tomorrow morning.
That's right. We'll try not to get it in your hair.
That's right. We'll warn you before. Let's move on. So, till next time, may the Force
be with
that ass. Oh.